Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us this Tuesday. I'm Jeanelle Slade.
And I'm Russ Riesinger. Tonight, Billings police warning you to be alert next time you swipe a bank card.
Thieves using technology to drain local bank accounts. And tonight, a recent victim of the crime speaks out.
Well, thousands of dollars stolen from dozens of local people.
Tonight, MTN's Mitch Laggy shows us what cardholders need to look out for.
Since July 1st, the Billings Police Department has received about 45 fraud reports. 19 of those received on July 8th alone. Nick Wolf was one of them.
I was sitting at work one day and I got a text notification that somebody had taken money out of my account. It said $450 some odd dollars is now out of your account. Is this you? I look at my account and lo and behold, it's all gone.
The Billings police believe someone is using a credit card skimmer to clone card information and PIN numbers, and says all of the victims so far were still in possession of their cards despite the transactions. The suspect then uses the cloned card at a gas station ATM to withdraw low amounts of money, or in Nick's case, a large amount. Now, since the amount withdrawn can be low, people may not think to make a report with the police, instead protesting the charges with their bank. Nick was able to work with police to narrow down the search.
I also gave him a bunch of pictures I'd gotten of receipts that we had found in the trash that were from my account and 3 other people's accounts, one consecutively right after another, showing that he was pulling money out of people's accounts.
So how can you protect yourself? Experts say to cover the keypad when you are entering your PIN number, because the thieves can use a micro camera to capture your information. Checking to see if the card reader is legit is also a good strategy.
I'm gonna be jiggling at every single ATM or whatever the heck else I'm working with. If it's a card reader, I'm gonna mess with it a little bit to make sure that nobody's got a skimmer on there. I don't want that to happen again.
Billings police say, as a consumer protection reminder, they encourage people to monitor their accounts and be aware of any unusual devices attached to card inserts and report any suspicious activity. In Billings, Mitch Laggy, MTN News.
And Billings police asking anyone who notices unauthorized purchases on their cards to make a police report by calling 657-8200.
A Billings man pleaded guilty today to slamming his truck into a highway work crew and killing another Billings man last fall.
Investigators say 28-year-old Ethan Anderson was severely impaired when he crashed his flatbed truck at the I-90 off-ramp on South Billings Boulevard. 52-year-old Jeff Dykman died there at the scene. Anderson admitted today to negligent vehicular homicide and 2 counts of criminal endangerment.
Court documents state on October 24th, Anderson was driving under the influence of difluoroethane. Investigators found a can of dust-off, which is known to contain the chemical, in Anderson's truck. Anderson is expected to be sentenced next month. The maximum penalty for vehicular homicide is 30 years in prison.
Montana Senators John Tester and Steve Daines helped secure a $1 million grant for Billings Logan International Airport. That grant is part of a larger $47 million in funding that will be given to airports across Montana. And with a $50 million terminal expansion on the way and fire equipment that is almost expired here at Logan, it will be put to good use. This money will allow the Billings Airport to purchase $200,000 worth of aircraft rescue and firefighting equipment. The remaining $800,000 will help pay for the design and architecture work that has gone into planning the Billings Airport's terminal expansion.
We'll probably get a couple more grants this year. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I know we'll get at least 1 more. 2 would be great. And so when that happens, wonderful. But each year, we get notification from the senator's office, and we always are thankful that they're out there helping support our local community and our local airport. It's very important to us.
Work on the expansion is scheduled to start September 23rd and be completed in 2023.
1 woman is dead and 2 others injured after a motorhome crashed and rolled in Paradise Valley today.
Montana Highway Patrol says it happened around 2:30 as that RV was headed south on Highway 89. Authorities say an elderly out-of-state woman was killed when the RV went off the right side of the road and rolled.
Another passenger and the driver were both taken to Livingston for treatment. The cause of that crash is still under investigation. New details tonight on what led to a vehicle plunging off the Going to the Sun Road in Glacier National Park and landing 40 feet below. A witness was able to capture Monday's terrifying incident. MTN's Marin Sue spoke with him and brings us those details.
I was hoping to take a late evening trip to avoid the crowds that accumulate during the daytime, and was hoping for a nice quiet evening in Glacier Park. And I came across 5 Glacier National Park ranger vehicles parked blocking one side of the road.
What Kalispell photographer Philip Grandrude came across was this accident. Around 5 p.m. on Monday night, a car swerved to avoid another car stopped and going to the Sun Road viewing a bear, and in doing so plummeted 40 feet off the road near Packer's Roost. Park spokesperson Lauren Alley says the extraction wasn't simple.
From there, our folks that are qualified in search and rescue were able to put their harnesses on, put their ropes on, and go down the embankment and do an evaluation of the patients in the car.
3 people were transported to the hospital in stable condition. Grandrude, a lifelong Montanan, has visited Glacier his entire life and has never seen anything like this. He says he was shocked, but knew he had to capture this moment.
As a photographer, you want to capture interesting moments, but you also want to make sure it's tasteful and make sure everyone's okay.
His photo has been shared almost 300 times on Facebook on top of hundreds of comments. But Ali says even experienced visitors like Grandrude need to pay close attention on the road. With almost 3 million visitors last year, everyone needs to be aware to prevent these sorts of accidents from happening.
Defensive driving skills are even more important on the going to the Sun Road. So make sure you're leaving plenty of space between you and the car in front of you. Plan for the unexpected. If you see a car that looks like they might pull out of a pullout in front of you, they're probably going to.
In Kalispell, Maren Sue, MTN News.
As of tonight, Allie does not know if the vehicle that went off the road was from in or out of state.
Well, strong words and action from a federal judge in Mammoth Hot Springs today as he sentenced a San Francisco man who left the boardwalk in Yellowstone National Park.
28-year-old Jason Wynn, seen here in a photo, walked hundreds of yards across Grand Prismatic Spring at the end of May. Now, Wynn, who appeared by phone from California today, had reached a plea agreement with the U.S. attorney to pay a $1,540 fine. But Judge Mark Carmen bypassed the sentencing deal.
He reduced the fine to $1,040, but tacked on 4 days in jail, 1 year's probation, and a 1-year ban from the park. Judge Carmen said today the Grand Prismatic is one of the greatest scenic areas in the country and told Wynn, quote, "We will not tolerate people who damage resources."
Well, turning to weather tonight, Bob, with all this rain, the overall totals must be adding up.
Yeah, they're starting to kind of go up a little bit. Let me show you. We got several places around the state, and we can tell you how we did as far as rainfall. Billings, well, let's start with us. We're at 10.46 inches on the year. That means we're about 2 inches ahead of normal. How about that? Great Falls, they're at 10.77 inches. They're almost 2 inches ahead of normal. Meanwhile, Glasgow, you see they're at 7.45. They're also ahead of normal. And also Miles City, they're at 8.70 inches. They are also about an inch ahead of normal. You can see where we fared last year at this time. In most cases, we were actually below what we had at this time last year. But take a look at all the rain we had in eastern Montana today. Miles City, 3.4 inches of rain. Ekalaka, 272. Lodge Grass was 256. Baker, 213. And Broadus, 1.90 inches of rainfall today. They've had some flooding in that area as well, but it looks like most of the rain is starting to wind up, and our temperatures are going to start to go up. We'll talk about it coming up in a few more minutes.
All right. Thanks, Bob.
Another name added to the long list of Democrats hoping to challenge President Trump in 2020.
Billionaire Tom Steyer is officially making a run for the Democratic presidential nomination. The hedge fund manager is worth an estimated $1.6 billion. Steyer has donated more than $100 million to Democratic candidates in the past 3 election cycles.
Lately, he's been running his own self-funded television commercials calling for Congress to impeach President Trump.
Well, Texas billionaire and former presidential candidate Ross Perot has died.
The 89-year-old passed away early Tuesday at his home following a battle with leukemia. Omar Villafranca takes a look back at his life and legacy.
Ross Perot launched an independent bid for the White House in 1992, facing off against President George H.W. Bush and Democratic challenger Bill Clinton.
I have lived the American dream. I came from a very modest background. Nobody's been luckier than I've been.
Perot grew up in Texarkana, Texas in the Depression era. His first job was delivering newspapers on the back of a pony. Perot served in the Navy, then became a top salesman for IBM. He later founded Electronic Data Systems and sold the computer services company in 1984, earning billions.
The candidate is Ross Perot. The issue is the national debt.
How do you do, Mr. Perot?
Perot got into the 1992 presidential race on a platform of balancing the budget and ending the outsourcing of U.S. jobs. Clinton won the election, and some Republicans blamed Perot for Bush's loss. He drew 19% of the vote, the largest percentage ever for a third-party candidate, and ran again in 1996. Perot received a special award from the Veterans Administration in 2009 for his work on veterans issues. He continued to speak out against unchecked federal spending.
The American people are good, but they have a government that is a mess.
Perot was diagnosed with leukemia in February. In a statement, the Perot family remembered their patriarch as a true American patriot and a man of rare vision, principle, and deep compassion. Omar Villafranca, CBS News.
Well, in 1979, Perot financed a raid to free 2 employees being held in Iran. Those events were later turned into a book and movie.
And during his campaign in 1992, Perot saw success in Montana here, earning 26% of the vote, one of the highest totals in any state. The 1992 is also the last time Montana voted for a Democrat for president.
Well, coming up in tonight's 10 o'clock news, after a lightning strike ignited a large wildfire in Yellowstone National Park, the bacon rind fire's burn scars are all that remain a year later.
Plus later, crews are ramping up for a celebration at Malmstrom Air Base this weekend, and another business is brewing up some fun of its own.
And in sports, is this the year Q2's Athlete of the Week wins his first World Bull riding title? Scott shows us how he's on pace.
You're watching MTN News with Jeanelle Slade and Russ Riesinger. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Breen. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.